Hello there. So every once in a while it's good to acknowledge that creation and destruction are just two sides of the same coin. And it's good just to sit back and enjoy nature as it is. But then I got thinking, can I make some ink out of flowers? I mean, flowers are quite red and vibrant, a lot of them. Can I exploit nature and use it for my own purposes once again? Yes. So I did blend them with a little bit of water, and then I put the result of that in a jar, and I attached ropes onto that jar. And then I turned myself into a centrifuge. I did that for a good 10 minutes, I think, just swinging a jar around my head. The purpose of that was to separate the large particles from the liquids and the air and blah blah blah. It did work quite well actually. So then I used a long glass pipette to suck the liquid out from the bottom of the jar. I know that's not how you're meant to use them, but anyway. I then squeezed the result of that into a cloth, into this little ink pot jar thingamajig. Now the other jar you saw me put blended flowers in earlier, I let that sit for about 2 days to let the liquids and the solids separate naturally, and then I did exactly the same thing. I didn't get as much liquid out as when I did the centrifugal rope swinging option, but it still worked, and I filtered that through a cloth as well. Actually letting it sit for 2 days was slightly more liquidy, but it was less material. So anyway, then I tried it out, and well, I don't know. The results were not good. I'm going to just say that. Yep, really bizarre actually. So at first the ink was like really dull. Not so dull that you can't see it, but still pretty dull. So I let those pots settle for a few days, and the larger particles started to settle down the bottom of the jar, and a clear pinkish red liquid started to form on the top. And I thought, how interesting. Anyway, I tried out the clear red liquid at the top, and it's just not vibrant enough to be used as ink. It's too dull. So I inserted my syringe all the way down to the bottom of the jar and extracted the red dark goop out from the base of it. Yes. Now that stuff was actually red, but it has another bizarre property. Whatever kind of red organic dye these flowers have in them quickly oxidizes in the air after you paint it onto the paper, and it turns into a brown. Doesn't stay red for very long at all. Starts off red, you think, oh, this actually could work. But no, after a few minutes, just brown everywhere. Another thing I must add is that this ink has no preservatives in it either. So there's nothing stopping any old microbe from making its home in it. On the top of my so-called ink, there is quite a strange bacterial culture growing on the top of it. It's becoming quite snot-like. It has a very vague odour of kind of yeast and vinegar. I don't like it. The top is becoming quite goopy, yes. It's a bit gross. I reckon the type of bacteria that's growing on the top of the jar must be anaerobic bacteria, because if I extract liquid out from the bottom of the jar, it's not goopy and it doesn't smell at all, or hardly anyway. It's only the very top of the jar. How interesting. Maybe the top layer of snot slime bacterial culture is actually stopping other bacteria from getting in and contaminating the rest. It's like protected by a blanket of germs or something. How does that work? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, that was a strange experiment / waste of time. Believe it or not, this is a drawing channel, and where I usually review pens. Okay, I'll see you later then. Okay, goodbye.